It's time now for sports news. Here's Kayode Alayode.
Welcome to Sports News. The National Basketball Association, NBA, will open its first academy in Africa next year in its latest move to unearth talent from outside of the United States of America and extend the league's reach into new territories. The academy will be based in Senegal and follows similar NBA projects opened this year in China and Australia. In football, Nigerian champions Rangers will face Algerian club JS Saoura in the preliminary round of the CAF Champions League. Super 4 champions Rivers United have also been handed a tricky fixture against Mali AS Real Bamako. In the CAF Confederations Cup, winners FC Fanyuba will face Al Masry in the first leg of their preliminary tie. Meanwhile, former Wiki Tourist striker Godwin Obaje has joined Tunisian club Etoile du Sahel on a 4.5-year contract. The 19-year-old, who was top scorer in the Nigeria Professional Football League with 18 goals last season, was earlier expected to join Russia's Spartak Moscow, but was not offered a contract after failing to make an impression after a 2-week trial period. And that's all on Sports News. I'm Kayode Alayode. The rest of the news continues in just a moment. Stay with us.
Police across Europe are on the hunt for a 24-year-old Anis Amri, said to have had a hand in the lorry attack on a Christmas market in Berlin. They think he could be armed and dangerous. Reports suggest he may have been injured in a struggle with a lorry driver found murdered in the cab. His residence permit was found in the cab of the lorry. Amri is reported to have traveled to Italy in 2012 and then on to Germany in 2015, where he applied for asylum and was granted temporary leave to stay in April this year. He is said to have been born in Tunisia and to have links to ISIS recruitment. Aid groups have begun the final phase of evacuations from Syria's second largest city, Aleppo. About 60 buses were stuck in the rebel enclave overnight after being stalled for one day for reasons which have not yet been established. 3,000 people had to wait in freezing weather with little to eat and drink during the time. After waiting more than a day, the first 5 buses in the convoy left the rebel enclave and crossed into government-held Ramusa this afternoon. Reports on the ground say when the last convoy leaves Aleppo, the city could very quickly return to government control. Gambia's President Yahya Jammeh is not shifting ground on his decision to remain in power until at least fresh elections are conducted. Mr. Jammeh has been of the opinion these past few days that there were many irregularities in the election, although he did not win. He sent out a warning to leaders mediating or intending to mediate in the political situation to steer clear, as he has no intentions of listening to them. Regional bloc ECOWAS has been imploring on the president to keep his promise of handing over power. It has said military intervention might be a possibility if diplomatic efforts fail. And the main news again. Former Governor of Delta State, James Ibori, today regained his freedom from a British prison. Mr. Ibori was released on the orders of a UK court after spending 3 years in jail. Also today, the federal government promised to reward whistleblowers who exposed financial and economic crimes in Nigeria. The Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun, said the reward for the whistleblower will range between 2.5% and 5% of the amount recovered. And that's it, news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.